We'd heard the rumors for years, but it wasn't until a local bartender leaned in over the counter and whispered about the Blackford Asylum that we decided to go. He didn't just warn us, he pleaded. "Don't go past the red hallway," he said, eyes fixed on mine. "And if you do, don't open the steel door." By the time we reached the edge of the woods that night, the words felt less like a warning and more like a dare. The asylum sat hunched under a sky heavy with clouds, its silhouette broken by jagged window frames. Every step inside echoed like we were waking something up. The air stank of mildew, rot, and something faintly metallic. Dust hung thick in the flashlight beams as we passed collapsed ceilings, peeling wallpaper, and graffiti-scrawled walls. Then, at the far end of the main corridor, we saw it. A hallway that seemed to drink in our light. The walls were stained a deep, uneven red, like something had seeped out over decades. And at the very end, half swallowed by shadow, stood a steel door with no handle. It wasn't on the blueprints we'd found online. We thought it might be a maintenance hatch or some sort of sealed storage, but when my camera began crackling with static just from pointing at it, I felt my stomach twist. We shouldn't have touched it, but we were already too far in. It took both of us and a crowbar to wedge it open, the metal groaning like it hadn't moved in decades. Behind it was nothing but black. Not the kind of dark that just hides a room, the kind that feels alive, swallowing sound and light the second it's inside. We stepped in, and the smell hit us immediately. Wet earth mixed with something faintly like rusted iron. The walls weren't brick or plaster. They were dirt. Packed, uneven, and damp to the touch. The strangest part was that we were still on the asylum's main floor. It was like we'd stepped underground without ever going down. And in the center of the dirt floor, lit only by our flashlights, was an old wooden chair facing the wall. A thick leather strap hung loose from one armrest. And the wall it faced, I swear it was moving, the surface swelling and sinking in slow, steady breaths. We decided to set my camera on the chair, lens trained on that breathing wall, while we stepped back toward the doorway. The air was cold now, so cold we could see our breath. I could hear my own heartbeat in my ears until a new sound replaced it. Soft, rhythmic, a whisper. I turned toward it, expecting to see my friend, but he was already looking at me with wide eyes. The sound wasn't coming from in front of us. It was behind us. We whipped around. Nothing. No one. The chair was still there, except now it was turned toward us. My pulse hammered as we backed toward the way we came in, but when we reached it, the doorway was gone. Just more dirt wall, seamless and solid. The ground shifted under my feet. I looked down and saw it, pale, dirt-streaked fingers pressing out through the wall. More followed, reaching from all sides, fingertips clawing toward the floor. My flashlight flickered. The hands were everywhere now, brushing against my legs, dragging through the soil toward us. I don't remember how we got out. One moment we were clawing at the dirt, lungs burning, and the next we were sprawled outside under the shattered asylum windows, gasping in the cold night air. My friend's hands were trembling as we checked the camera, desperate to see if any of it had been recorded. Most of the footage was ruined, just static, white noise, flickers of light. But at the very end, there was a single clear frame. The buried room. The chair. Only this time, someone was sitting in it. They were wearing my black jacket, hood pulled low over their face. Their hands rested neatly on the armrests. They weren't moving. They weren't blinking. They were just staring straight into the lens, waiting.